I honestly don't know. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we've been doing Piff. It's been keeping her alive, but it hasn't impeded the disease at all. It's everywhere. At this point, short of finding a cure that would be this good, yeah, you're really all that's keeping her alive.
I know.
That's-
They're both kind of crying silently now and holding on to each other.
All right. I'll go to these pools of pit.
We are extremely active in that.
Well, best to sum it all up. Okay, guys, we need to go check this blood gate one more time. I'm going to go and very carefully open it. Creak, crack, luck roll 0, chaos ensued.
And the gate is now burning cheerily in the middle of the town. Well, maybe not cheerily, it's burning despondently.
Yes, despondent is a good word because we finally got the opportunity to check out the bodies of the Avatar's allies. Poor Elric definitely knew, how do you pronounce her name? Komoko? Komoko. She had this brooch that had a silent image of the two of them. Elric is pretty dang broken up. Jim's kind of running the show right now. When we last left off the Text RP, everyone was getting drunk and
Jerks would not have been drinking and getting drunk. So she might have drank a little bit, but getting drunk, yeah, no.
the party doesn't really have the budget to buy enough to get a freaking horsewoman drunk.
You're drunk, Jim.
And what is a credit card?
And she's pointing at Jim's liking, you're from Florida. You know fuck well what I'm talking about.
No, I mean, you're a snake. Shouldn't you have to, sleep out in the sun? Are you endothermic?
Damn it. Okay, which... Honestly, now that...
This is exactly how things would go last night.
Okay, which now makes me bring up the question. So, with the drinks... Oh my god, but that... I don't know if we would actually be drunk at all.
Did you try pouring alcohol where you normally pour your water?
I mean, yeah, because she doesn't have really any reflex to, actual drink stuff, so it would just kind of be pours down.
Well, then you're surprised.
Like the water would.
You're surprised to find, much like how healing potions somehow magically work, that you can get drunk. Who knew? It's an odd sort of drunk because it's more like your gauges and dials and readouts and things are registering that the ground around you is not balanced properly. It tells you that you're in rough terrain, basically. It's kind of knocked off whatever you've got, gyroscope or whatever you've got that's controlling your equilibrium has gone wonky, and its major sensors think that you're standing on a sideways floor that's sometimes sideways the other way. Maybe it thinks you're in a boat or something. So yes, but depending on how much you drank, of course.
So, you're a robot, and you can drink? Holy fuck, you're totally Bender from Futurama. Hey, someone get her a cigar!
She does not burp flame, alas.
Damn it, you destroyed
God,
the drink.
yeah. I'm working on a spell for that.
Please don't.
And Maria is, of course, or has been dancing, so she's probably wearing a skimpy top or something, and she's kind of curled provocatively over the table. Oh my god, she's totally Bender.
Yeah, Yeah, you know how you think the corruption is bad now? Oh, you're way off. Yeah, back in the '90s, the '90s. Oh, police corruption was so much worse before all the cameras and everything. I had to fight it for decades. You know, the freaking internal affairs guys. They're the absolute worst. We used to have this saying. Alec, how did the saying go? Something. Right. When you're a rookie, the corruption comes from incompetence because they make mistakes. They want to do the right thing, but they mess it up. When you're a veteran, the corruption comes from greed. God, the whole thing was a mess. Wouldn't surprise me if one of those Elric, the thing that happened, was getting shot in the ankle by some young punk thing. Yeah. I bet somebody paid him to do that just to get me out of the way, because I was about to expose that head IA guy. And,
Shit, man. You got some Law and Order type motherfucking thing going on? And
I don't know. Jim has all sorts of weird things going on in here. At one point, apparently, someone was asking if he was a bad enough dude to rescue the president from ninjas? Oh no, that was a video game. Sorry, the memories are already mixed up in here. Making it drunk just makes it worse.
awesome.
That was absolutely beautiful, Jim. I swear.
You elephant lady.
I swear to the gods, that was.
Do you have anything in common with the elephant man?
Sorry?
I think Jim just passed out because I just went quiet. I think
I know. I'm just.
Oh, actually, that was my headset cutting out because it's still kind of breaking.
Well, that was apropos, that's for sure.
I'm sorry. That would actually be funny if Jim just after that just his head falls forward and onto the table, and you just hear snoring for a second before he shots up, and that's how they won.
I mean,
By the way, Maria, your dancing reminded me of something.
it's
I
Salma
finally
Hayek.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if she invented twerking, but I'm a lady now. I finally have the right to do this. And she's gonna go next to Maria and start twerking.
Well, twerking's something you have to practice, so let's do a performance roll for that.
Oh dear God!
Okay, performance 0. Okay.
I would also like fan art of this at some point in the future.
When there is
Hang on.
time.
I mean, Maria's not dancing anymore. Maria's kind of flopped over the table.
Where is my D20?
You going live, Dice?
After how many times this virtual dice has messed with me.
I understand.
Alright, here we go. And that's an 11.
You do a reasonable approximation of twerking based on what you know it looks like.
Maria's just sprawled out on the table, all pretty-like, and then she sees Yuna trying to twerk and falls over, just flops over laughing her ass off.
Hey, check it out! It's a thing. The portmanteau thing. Portmanteau twerk. A twerk-offent? Yeah! She's a twerk-offent.
Pink elephants on parade, baby!
Did you decide you had a tail, Yuna?
You know, I actually haven't decided that yet.
This is a good time to decide because it's going to add something interesting to the twerking if you have one. It's going to be flipping around.
Why not? Let's go for it.
You're able to get it to spin.
So it's spinning like a copter behind her.
Exactly, like a fan blade. Mad Ace, I think we know what our first commission from you is.
Dear God.
Hey, V lady, did you dance? This is how people dance where we're from.
Maria can't breathe.
I bet she could do the robot.
V just kind of like squints really hard because like all the sounds in her head are just getting really loud, but she's like, no, I must be present. She goes, if that's a dance, then boy do I have a surprise for you.
Yeah, surprise! Do it! Do it!
So I don't think it would work because she doesn't know the steps per se. Oh look, why are you as drunk as I am? We're in the same dude. I don't quite know. I have a buzz. I feel it, but I seem to be rather more lucid and linguistic. Oh, you do the other thing again. Well, it's kind of my verbal tick. Just keep drinking. I'm distracted by other things. Right. Another!
Instead of doing a jerking or anything, she is actually going to do a proper Irish jig.
Another performance check.
Hold on, I gotta look up what my modifier is. Ah, good, it's 0. Good job. 19.
You do
Holy fuck.
I told you these days are good.
It's a very impressive Irish jig.
Oh, good.
Maria's just like raises a fist. It's like, yeah. Dancing.
At a point, she grabs Jim and just starts spinning him while she's still dancing.
Having to support Jim's weight because he's like, he still thinks he's sitting at the bar. He's had too many because he's trying to suppress the screaming in Ulrich's soul.
Constitution save, Jim.
That's a 13.
Well, that's enough. You do not yak all over her. You feel the burning in your throat, but you manage to keep it up, or keep it down.
Hold up. One of us is about to throw up. I think it's Ulrich. But it's going to come out the same mouth.
Oh, you poor thing with your fleshy stomachs. Where I'm from, we have iron guts.
Literally, in this case.
And unfortunately, as she gets more drunk, it becomes less like actual language and just she starts slipping back into Welsh. And she can't, like, you can barely understand it because it's like every now and again there's an English word, but it's just like a random word at times.
And now Maria is pretty much just speaking Spanish. And now I'm seeing Maria trying to talk to Lady V, and Lady V is trying to talk to her, and neither of them...
It's like, yes, this works perfectly. No, it doesn't.
They're both just talking at each other like they're having a normal conversation, but no one understands what is being said.
Terps tries to do an Irish jig, but it looks more like a river dance.
Hey, close enough. That Vive will actually try to help her.
How do dance instructions work if they have 4 legs? Like, it's supposed to be left and right. Now there's like left front, left back.
Twice as many instructions, of course.
It's like, no. If you dance with your body and you have 2 arms and 2 legs, you both use both your arms and your legs, so it's just a matter of translating that to 4 legs.
It's a funny thing to say from the river dancer.
I was dancing and I have no legs, and... Huh. And then Maria starts chattering in Spanish again.
I think you've had enough. We need to travel tomorrow. Yes, I believe time to go to bed is nigh. A nigh for nighty night. That's not bad.
And Maria kind of rolls around a bit and holds out her arms to Yuna, and so she's basically asking to be carried to bed.
Sure. She's gonna pick her up and wear her like a scarf again.
How drunk is Yuna?
Yeah, drunk enough to be silly as everybody else. Why?
Scooter Brown.
Because I want to know if you're able to actually make this walk. So, let's do a dexterity save.
Alright. Wait, no. Real dice for this.
I'm sensing we're going to need another caution sleeping elephant sign.
That'd be a 7 for the save.
Well, you start carrying her, and then you start hitting tables, and you're not really noticing the people jumping up and going, hey! And you stumble to the doorway and kind of slam into the wall, fumble for the door, finally get it open. Dexterity check, Maria. Maria is definitely cognizant enough, or else lucky enough, not to bang her head against the door frame as you stumble through. But you do manage to bang into both walls, on the left and the right, before getting to the doorway to the room. Stumbling your way in.
And Maria somewhat ungracefully slides from Yuna's shoulders into this snicky coil onto the floor.
Oh, that was cool. You're like a slinky.
Haha, slinky. Terps, you coming to bed?
She's still playing and dancing with all the people that are still at the end.
Oh, okay.
Didn't get shit face jumped and fall down.
Yep, so Maria's gonna curl up on her bed.
Alright, so, Constitution checks for everyone.
Terp wasn't drinking a whole lot. She's only doing.
Okay, except for Terps.
Uh, 9 plus 3, that'd be 12 for the save.
Alright, Maria.
That's a 7.
Okay, so Terps wakes up. You guys wanted to get an early start. Terps wakes up on time. Yuna groggily wakes up on time. Everybody else is stone asleep at the time that you were planning on all getting up for your trip.
Pull out the bagpipes and start playing Reveille on the bagpipes.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
That may kill us all. Go for it.
Now I gotta see if I can find a recording of that. Give me a second.
Oh god, I know exactly what you're meaning, and oh dear god.
Maria's just gonna start crying. She's gonna wake up and start crying. Just bury her head under the pillow.
Mm.
Oh, but wait, hold on. Where did I put? Oh god, did I? Was everyone in the same room asleep, or did like everyone try to go to their room?
Well, I assume Elric's upstairs. I don't know where you decided. Are you in the other room?
No, I think she probably fell asleep in the bar area, right outside the door to the room on the first floor. There's just a huge robot in the corner, and so when she starts to play, just this eye pops out of the darkness.
That's assuming that Mohri, whatever her name is, would allow you to stay asleep and like push you out the room or something. V was probably acting like one of those video game glitches that it's like they just walk into the corner and they keep walking for a little bit thinking they're going somewhere. No, she starts through a Mag's headroom.
And And then
If
at
they
some
were falling
point,
asleep or falling on the floor, Terps would have carried each and every one of them out or where they needed to go. Which can't go upstairs, but
So everyone who is downstairs is woken up by revelry on the bagpipes. Jim, did you go upstairs?
Thinking, going under the justification that Elric and Jim could assist each other, they tried to make it upstairs. You want me to roll for something to see if they made it?
Sure, let's do a dex check.
Maria speaks Abyssal, so when Maria gets woken up and starts using some of her newfound curse words, those are some evil sounding curse words.
it's like deep in the throat, like, I shall eat your soul.
actually, I would imagine that swear words in Abyssal would sound more like, well, bless you. Because they're going to sound very sweet sounding.
So she basically sounds like the most ultimate passively aggressive bitter southern lady.
Yeah. Oh, bless your heart. Jim managed to get to the stairs and climb them. Give me a Constitution save, Jim, and or Elric. And managed to make it to his room, not falling unconscious in the hallway. Good job. So he managed to stumble up the stairs without even hitting the wall. Found the correct room somehow, and just collapsed into the first bed he came to. And is not woken up by the bagpipes. So everybody else is groggily awake. No sign of Jim or of the local assassin cat.
Maria's just crying, make it stop!
Ow! Ah, that's loud. Terps, you can stop, please. You can turn that off now.
Where is the centaur's snooze button? That's the question.
Well, she actually just
Cooley!
disconnected.
There she is.
Get updated.
Oh my god, that was perfect timing in the worst way, too. It's like, Terps, can you stop? Disconnects? Not literally.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
She will just smile and continue to play until everybody's up and moving. She'll even walk into the inn, so people upstairs can hear her.
You get some dirty looks from the couple people who are in the main room nursing cups of bark.
She'll even keep time with her hooves on the floor.
Terps, what are you doing? You trying to wake up the entire town?
You're awake, damn it!
She'll stop playing this or watching music.
Maria, are you awake? I think you gotta be awake, or she's gonna start playing the music again.
Maria just curses and groans and kind of moves.
I hope you're not too hungover. But we have a job to do. We gotta get up.
Now you know from your planning session that we didn't really RP, but I'm sure you all looked at the map and things, that it's going to take a long single day to get to Kellen, and then another partial day to get to the pools of vision. So you needed to get an early start in order to get to Kellen in one day.
What do we know about Kellen and Kemu?
You know that they're both smaller than Sunder, so they're just little towns.
That's saying something, considering Sunder is pretty small.
Yep.
So did you figure out who was messing up the files?
I guess at this point, Jim has come downstairs.
We didn't find out who did it. Jim was investigating the file room directly. I was looking for any signs that somebody might have broken into the building. I didn't find anything. And then, except for Jim, we all just came out to make sure that you were okay. And then we went to look at the bodies. But between all of us, I think there's a pretty good chance it was either Merc or Sugi who did it, and they just don't remember.
And he just kind of looks frustrated with that, but also she's trying to stay attentive because her head hurts. But she's like, that makes no sense.
Actually, funny thing about that there, V, you actually have no hangover. You feel just fine.
Oh, God. The ultimate superpower.
They wouldn't have any motive for doing it, but we both know that they're on the sauce. So what I'm thinking is while they were high, they came in and they messed around with things.
At this point, Jim comes stumbling down the stairs. Hold on. You're making conclusions based on too little information. I need more data. V, what were the last files you were working on before you stopped for the day? Please be precise as you can. Why is everything so bright in here?
Oh, you alright there, Jim?
I'm taking everyone is hungover this morning.
Oh no, it's weird. I'm hungover, but Elric's fine. But last files you were working on. Go V.
I was just trying to organize the last meetings. I tried to get them specified through their dates and times. That was roughly it. It was just the council meetings.
Okay. Were these council meetings from Purist, the Tabaxi colony, or from Sunder, which would be much later?
Sunder. Unfortunately, I didn't get that far in.
I found 2 stacks of files in a relevant work area. One was meeting notes from Purist, and the other had to do with purchases from around the same time. If they weren't the files you were working on, then it is possible they were the files whoever it was trying to research.
A moment while I PM Matt.
Yay, specifics!
Lady V, are you feeling hungover? Like, do robots feel weird like that?
Will you hate me if I said no?
I don't hate. Hate is a worthless emotion.
Hey, Elric. What do you think of half-elves?
Jesus Christ.
We're going to have to find that out from soon, because I'm honestly not sure.
It doesn't seem to spark anything from you just by mentioning it that way.
Oh, shrugs. Nothing in particular, no. Wasn't Alyssa, one of my friends, a half-elf?
Hey, Jim.
Is that a comment
Remember?
to me or to the group?
Didn't you also have a visceral reaction?
That was kind of addressed to the group, but I guess maybe that was also addressed to the DM, I'm not sure.
Oh,
She was a half elf, yes.
I guess Elric will continue. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I would have traveled with Alyssa if she was a half-elf if I had some sort of issue with half-elves, but I definitely had an issue with one particular half-elf, and I have no idea why.
So, let's say you're having this conversation over some bark and whatever food, and you're packed up your stuff and you're on the road. Y'all noticed your friendly neighborhood cat is still nowhere to be seen. No one remembers seeing her last night. She seems to have possibly disappeared again.
Has anyone seen Sonia? Oh, damn it. Did she vanish?
we did get somewhat drop a lot on her.
Look, when there's something to steal, she'll show up.
If you're ready, then I guess we should go then, shouldn't we?
Alright.
Sounds like a plan.
Right, Terps, can you just wrap this around your waist? I'll wrap this around mine. That way I don't fall off your back. More like he's going to lean back to back with Terps with a belt holding him in place.
I was like, it'd probably be easier if you put your front to my back, and that way you could hold on to me with your legs and your arms better.
No, I can't breathe through your hair. It'll be fine. Plus, this way, no one can sneak up on us.
You're going to fall off. You're not balanced. I can feel you're not balanced when you sit that way.
That's why we have the belt. Just wrap it around you, I'll wrap it around me. This is what we call a safety harness.
And then you slide off, and you're hanging from my side, pulling at my waist and your waist with a rope.
Let's just try it, alright? If it doesn't work, we'll do something else.
Very well.
Did Jim have any horseback training, and did he get to do the walking around on the horses in the city?
I'm thinking he got to work with the mounted division, but he probably followed that old Sherlock Holmes quote about horses being dangerous at both ends and tricky in the middle, so he never actually rode one.
Fantastic. Dexterity check. Damn it. I wanted you to fall into the river. So, it's very uncomfortable, but you're so far managed to stay on as you go over the bridge, over the river, and start up the road towards Kellen.
Curbs unconsciously, she does the horse thing with the tail flicking back and forth and probably smacks him in the face a couple times.
Ow. Ow.
As you're going out of town, you see the other centaur watching you with just a look of shocked disbelief on her face, but she doesn't say anything.
So just give her a big grin and say, "What? You don't like a good ride every once in a while?"
She just shakes her head and walks away. It's chilly. It's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. It's overcast, but it's a light overcast. Looks like there might be possible showers, but right now it's dry.
Alex should stay relatively warm because Chirps has got on her horse blanket across her back, and then he's, half against horse, half against human.
Plus, with the walking, everyone feels pretty warm pretty quick. Is there any more discussion you want to do on the road since I interrupted it before?
Chirps is going to play bagpipe marching music as they go.
Ulrich is going to take some spare sheets of paper, crumble them up, and shove them into his ears.
Jim, I have to ask. Jim?
What?
Jim?
What?
Jim?
What?
Can you hear me?
No, but I can see your lips moving.
Okay, well, can you try to hear me then?
Why do you want me to sphere you?
God damn it.
Is that cotton in your ears?
No, it's paper.
Whatever it is, take it out of your ears. She's gonna mime pulling something out of her ears.
Why do you want me to pull your ears? They're already big and flappy as is.
V is going to make a movement to try and take one of the pieces of paper out of one of his ears.
I'm obviously too drunk to try and stop it.
He's still drunk? Alright.
Oh, he's sort of drunk.
Well, you know what he had for breakfast. Alright, so that means you don't need to make a check to try to get it out. You pop the paper out of one of his ears.
Jim, dude. Homeboy, why you gotta be drinking like that?
I'm in mourning by proxy.
Fair enough.
V is just going to show the little wad of paper to you and be like, husk away.
Thank you for that. Hey, buddy, can you hear me now?
If I say no, does that mean you'll stop talking?
Okay, good. So, by the way, is Turp still playing music during all this?
I imagine so. We're having to shout over it.
Yeah, bagpipes aren't exactly soft music after all.
So I'm really curious about knowing, are you actually a shoot first, ask questions later kind of cop?
No, Yuna, shh.
Terps, take it down. I actually can't understand Feather when he's trying to fake scream.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a little off. I think it's because my headset's messed up. That's part of it.
She'll try to play the bagpipes quietly. Ha!
Did I mean, just to see if maybe there's something on my end, did I sound weird to anyone else?
The words blended together a little bit. I understood it, but...
Hmm.
I got most of it. It's Jim. Are you really a shoot first, ask questions later kind of cop? Was that it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Jim sort of shrugs. Depends upon the circumstances of which the shooting's happening. If someone shoots at me first, no, I don't stop to ask questions.
Okay, that's great. And what if they haven't shot at you yet?
Well, did I catch them in the middle of doing something they shouldn't be? Like that annoying postal carrier guy. I caught him with his dog fighting rink. Never could bust him on it. That's why I went with the coke instead. It's more than the bastard should have.
V's gonna interject and be like, "Wait, is cocaine illegal for you?"
Oh yeah, super illegal. But everyone, especially the especially rich, always has it all the time.
It's medicine, though.
It sure is.
Yes, it is. You get it from your doctor, you get a prescription, and they give you, whether it be tablets or with the drinks.
No. Maria comes over. I'm gonna tell my girl about what's going on with this stuff.
I know what it is. I've taken it. I just love it because it was so common for everyone to have coke at the turn of the century.
And laudanum for ladies.
Yeah. So it's like, if she tells her all this stuff, he's going to be like, I know. Because I take it.
It's slowly going to get worse. And
of course we were okay. That's how the science got done.
Exactly. So that's how you got rid of your headaches after you were hungover. You took your cocaine.
This shit's addictive. Like, really addictive.
That's why you go to your doctor, to make sure you don't take more than you should.
Yeah, people don't have that kind of self-control. I knew one guy who freaking sold his own teeth just to get some cocaine.
Oh my god. It was actually just sold on corner stores in Tennessee in the early 20th century.
Yeah. Welcome to the 40s and 50s where things got fucked.
Oh, and another thing, don't expect cocaine to be around forever, and if it hasn't happened in your time yet, there's going to be a point where alcohol is banned utterly, and it creates a massive black market for it.
Well, why? What? And she'll stop for a second and be like, I left England for a specific reason to come over to the States. Are you telling me this was the worst idea?
Wait, what year is she from?
1906.
Oh, well, she's about to hit flapper era. Good stuff.
She's about to hit a lot of shit. Flappers, prohibition, fascism. I mean, dear God, she's
The Great Depression.
Great Wall. Well, that's dependent if she survives. Well, into the 30s, I mean, technically, yeah, she's 33 at this point, so 1970s, or 1870s, I'm sorry. So yeah, it's like, goddamn.
So those roaring 20s that I mentioned before, yeah, they also have the era of prohibition, complete ban of alcohol across the U.S., and you're gonna have problems with coke and marijuana too.
Wasn't there some kind of big depression thing?
Yeah, that's at the beginning of the 1930s. The whole U.S. economy goes to hell.
Oh, what about they had a pandemic too back then.
Has there been one? I mean, there's been the issues of cholera, but if you're in London,
you're gonna see some shit.
Fear is across her face.
It's not gonna kick off for about whenever World War I started, but it's not gonna be good.
What do you mean, World War?
And one.
Yeah.
The 20th century includes some of the darkest moments in human history.
Terps is going to stop playing her instrument for a minute and look at everybody and go, do you really want to tell her about all these bad things that she's going to see, that she might see, because maybe she won't? I personally, all this stuff is so far distant from me, apparently it doesn't make a difference, but I don't... you're telling her all these horrible things that are going to occur. Why don't you focus on telling her of all the wonderful things that will occur? Surely some good things have happened in your time.
And she has the Roaring Twenties to look forward to.
Honestly, all the really good stuff doesn't start till like the 90s, and she isn't going to live that long.
What about the 60s?
What? The civil rights movements, disco, funk? Come on.
You only listed one positive one there.
The Beatles? The Stones?
And if she can make it to the age where they start having cool video games, she's great. Otherwise, barely why even bother.
You said Beatles and Stones, and Church is going to look at you. You play with Beatles and Stones?
Maria giggles.
Those are children's toys.
Yeah. And, well, where we're from, they're also some of the greatest musicians we've ever had.
Wait, you have Beatles that play music and Stones that play music? I mean, I understand crickets play music, and you can get a good rhythm from beating rocks together, but...
Yeah, the more that everyone talks about the future and everything, because for V, the most recent thing that has happened to her has been Mary Curie discovering and also mourning her husband. San Francisco earthquake.
If any of this gets to the point where your mind starts falling apart, just tell us.
I think we're very much past that, because apparently it fell apart as soon as I came here.
Church is going to go back to playing music, because that's all. All this has no meaning to her whatsoever. That's like, over 30 to 40,000 years in the future.
Well, let me ask this. Hopefully you people know who Bram Stoker is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What a horrible writer.
That shit, I don't know. That shit was pretty hot.
So hot about drinking blood.
Think of it as primal hunger.
That's disturbing.
Blood mixed with things is okay.
Unless if you cook it.
No. You mix it with different roots and extracts from roots and leaves.
A lot of the appeal in vampirism is the predation, the hunt on a level between actual humans as opposed to it being relegated only to the animal kingdom. The raw desire, the going after a sensitive area like the neck, taking something of someone into yourself. It's all an interplay of violent and sexual urges.
That's why you have erotica. Why would you...
So you're a fan of erotica then? Okay.
They write it. Of course women write it.
Well, yeah, we knew that, but it sounded for a moment like you weren't as much of a prude as you seemed.
Coon, are there other travelers on the road giving us weird looks?
Well, there are not very many travelers. No, you've passed maybe, one person the entire time, and they gave you a very wide berth. But this is not these two tiny towns. There's not a lot of traffic on this road.
Okay, well, if we happen to run across anyone else, Jim would like to flag them down and ask them about Kellen.
What would you like to flag down? The one person you saw?
You know what? Sure.
It's a kind of scrawny, grimy-looking human. He looks at you all suspicious. It's like, I don't know who y'all are, but stay away from me.
Easy there, easy there. Just first time for us going to Kellen. Wanted to ask about the place
Why?
because we're going there.
There's nothing there.
Well, I mean, surely there's something there. There's stores. There's an inn. I mean, there must be something of interest.
The only thing about Kellen is going past it.
Okay, fair enough. Have you ever been to the pools of vision?
No, why would I want to go there?
Well, I understand the soothsayers there can peer through the mists of time and see into the future.
I don't need any need of that. All I need is my crops to grow.
Thank you for your time.
Uh-huh.
Well done.
You get the feeling that he's never actually, like, left his little patch of ground. That blank spot you see on the right on the map, that's just farm.
I suspect we need to look for someone a bit more elaborately dressed. A bit more of a Dexter Dadelian type rather than a Geralt.
That man is bereft of passion and imagination. I'm glad at least that none of us ended up in a body like that.
Well, it's not really his fault. I mean, what good does passion and imagination do when you're basically trying to make sure your family doesn't starve to death?
He could have no money, he could have very much money, or maybe that is how he likes to live.
So as you go on, it starts to get a little darker. You go up a slight hill, and on the decline, you finally see lights ahead of you. You can see where the rivers meet, and you can dimly see, sort of shrouded in darkness, the town. You also see a fair-sized group of what look like armed men standing outside the town. The town itself has walls. They look, as you get closer, like they were hastily constructed walls, as if to keep something out.
Or keep something in.
Now, the armored men, are they facing towards the town as if they're going to attack it, or facing away as if to protect it?
They're facing towards the town. It looks very much like a siege, from what you have always imagined a siege might look like.
Are any of them carrying flags or wearing capes with insignias on them?
No, it looks like sort of a hodgepodge armor, and nothing that looks really organized about it. It's just a group of men, all of them armed, but you know, they each have their own sorts of armor and things. They're not in like neat rows or anything.
At this point, Jim's going to cut himself loose from Terps, put the rope away, signal for everyone to quiet down, and try and find a good vantage point from which to scout the army.
Investigation check. You count exactly 31 men, no horses still, in a loose semicircle around the wall of the town between those two rivers. You can't tell from here if there's anything on the other side of the river, but from what you can tell, the town just sits on this little corner between where these rivers meet, and there's a wall that's been built from one river to the other, cutting it off. And the men are arranged in a sort of half circle around that wall, on the outside of it, obviously. From what you can tell, they look, well, there's sort of an air of tension from even where you are.
Well, this is a problem.
There's two men in the middle of the group that look like they're the ones in charge. A larger man who does have a red cloak on, and a man who is not quite as large, but he's got a big black beard that you can see when he turns around and yells something to someone.
Guys, I'm pretty sure they're about to siege this town, and we're probably going to have to help them out. We can't fight them head on. We're outnumbered 8-1. I think we can try and get close and start picking them off one by one, or we can wait till the siege begins and try and circle in behind them and then pick them off from behind.
Or we could find out more about what they're doing here.
Or just sneak over the wall and do not interact with them at all.
Or walk around them.
We do not have to actually stop for the night. We could just go to the pools.
What time is it right now?
How big and deep or whatever's the river?
The river is deep enough that you would not be able to swim across it comfortably at this time. Think Oregon Trail.
I have never played that game, so.
It's, from your estimation, about 7 o'clock at night. The sun is kind of disappearing behind the mountains. It's getting fairly dark. The road does goes into the town and then comes back out at the other side. There's not an easy way to skirt around it because the ground gets really rough and rocky on the outskirts of it. You could try to make your way across the rockiness if you wanted to.
So it is pretty dark, if not nighttime yet, and the only easy way is through these guys.
Yeah.
We could also try and find a hidden spot nearby and wait and see what happens, or double back and find a way to go east over the river.
You hear a sort of wailing on the wind. Seems to be coming from the direction of the town. And having ridden all day with a similar sound in your ears, you recognize after a moment that it's a bagpipe playing.
Oh, from inside the town or from the other dudes?
Perception check. Terps, you're fairly sure it's coming from inside the town.
Aw, shit.
But they're playing music like I play.
Are the the armed men reacting to that music at all?
Perception check from you. Or anyone else who wants to try. Yes, you can see kind of a recoil. Much of the group kind of takes a few steps back, except for the two in the middle. But even they look like they're kind of standing a little straighter from what you can tell.
Okay, well, some person in there is playing bagpipes of their own. We don't know anything about what's going on, and we've got a couple of dying people to save. Do we want to get involved in this, or do we want to try and find a way around the town entirely?
If it's a raiding party, where do you think they're going to go next?
I don't know if they're a raiding party or not. I have no idea who these men are or what they want.
Then it's time to investigate. Everybody wait here. Elric Jin will attempt to stealth close enough to try and hear what they're saying.
Alright, stealth check.
Terps just kind of cocks her head. Oh, I could go try to talk to him.
What? Why don't we hang back for for a second and see what he does.
So Jim slides forward in the darkness, going from bush to bush to rock to bush. He gets closer. They don't seem to have noticed him. And then he can hear them kind of hoarsely talking to each other. I don't know if this is gonna hold. It's got to. Maybe we need to get more wood. Well, it doesn't even matter. He's gonna keep playing. This whole thing's just gonna get overrun. We need to leave. Well, then what if they do break out? Then what happens? I don't know. I don't care. You hear more talking, very nervous talking, similar to that.
Elric stands up, calls out, "Hi there. Sounds like you guys need some help."
They jump and their weapons fall into their hands. And they go, "Ah!"
Jim has his hands up, emerges from the shadows. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm friendly.
They peer at you real carefully. Doesn't look like one, does it? No. Who are you?
My name is, and he has to weigh this decision for a moment to decide which one he's going to go with. My name is Elric Pratchett. Elric Pratchett.
Uh-huh. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm traveling from Sunder through Kellen, ultimately to the Pools of Vision, but appears something's going wrong in the town. I overheard you guys talking about barricades. It seems like you might be trying to keep something in. Maybe something to do with the bagpipe player.
They both shudder. One of them turns and says, Doriano, come over here. And the big man who seems to be in charge turns around and does a double take and then comes walking up. Who are you?
Elric Pratchett, traveling adventurer, and magister of the Lyceum. He stands up tall, tries to look magisterially.
The man says, well, you need to go back the way you came. Can't go through here right now.
Yes, I take it something is wrong. Perhaps I might be of assistance.
You all by yourself?
There are other resources I can tap into, depending upon what the nature of the problem is. How about you tell me what you're dealing with first?
Undead is what we're dealing with. Zombies, skeletons.
How many?
What?
How many undead? The entire town?
Who knows? We didn't stop to count. They just started popping out of nowhere. It seems to have something to do with Nuha. He's been really depressed. One of his mother died. He just sat down and started playing his bagpipes. Next thing we know, there's just zombies and skeletons killing everything in sight. So the entire town fled. We put up this wall to try to keep them out, but he's still playing, and the more he plays, the more of them they show up.
Okay, so if we can stop the bagpipes, or maybe even drown them out, wait here, I might have something that can help. And he'll go to where his friends can see him, wave at them, signal for them to come in.
Maria slithers forward. What's going on?
Zombies.
The fuck?
You trust a zombie?
The undead.
What's an undead?
Walking corpses.
The dead of the town have risen from the grave, and they're attacking the living.
What is wrong with this world?
Going to make it right. Now,
As you all come closer, you can see their expressions. Each one is stranger than the last, and each time, a new strange figure shows up, they all kind of look a little more shaken and a little more confused and a little more odd.
Okay, so what brought these undead here, and what's with the music?
Jim will fill them in about what the NPCs already told him.
The answer is the same as the question.
Music caused the dead to rise.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, but you don't really know.
Well, we didn't stop to investigate. We just ran.
From what we've heard, this town is pretty small. So, how many? Do you have any idea how many undead could be on the other side of those walls?
Again, we didn't stop to count.
What's the population of the town?
0. Well, 1.
What's the population of the town before the zombies attacked?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 90?
Do you have any ladders with you, perhaps?
No. Why would you need a ladder?
To look over the walls?
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
V just gives a look of like, really?
So, what exactly were you guys planning on doing about this then?
Well, we put up this wall as quickly as we could to contain it. And then we're just waiting out here to kill any that come out.
And if there's more than you?
Well, then we run.
And if they outrun you?
Then we die.
You. Well, it's a good thing we showed up.
I really doubt that it is. But alright.
Is there any place around where we can safely observe the zombies? Get a sense of what we're dealing with?
Well, we still have a little bit of wood left over. You could try making ladders or something.
Does the wall look to be hefty enough to support someone's weight?
No, it's very quickly put up. It looks less stable than the door.
How tall?
It's about 7 feet tall. In fact, the tallest of you could probably look over it.
I was about to say church, we're just going to look over the wall.
Una might
We're up on
be
a-
able to how tall Una is, and V might be able to, depending on how tall you guys are.
Yeah,
It's
church
not
is
hot.
right at about 7, so she can get like rear up on her hind legs and be a little bit taller.
Unit 7'5". You're saying the wall is what, 6 feet maybe?
It's about 7 feet high.
You
The unit could just
Yeah.
she can just walk up to it and look over the thing. Okay,
You know, hold me up.
you sure about that?
I just want to see.
Turks will hold out a hand and then kneel down a little bit so she can stand up on Turks' back.
Q scrambling from this little from V trying to get some view.
Careful you don't break anything, cause robot.
I'll be fine.
Not you, Terps.
That's specified.
I'm just going to have to hit all three, so what do your elephant, equine, and robotic eyes see?
Alright, so once we are within sufficient vision range of this, perception to see what's going on in this place.
Yep. So, Una sees all of this. V sees just the first few.
Okay. That's a lot.
So you peer over, and you can see, shambling around the towns, exactly what he said. Clearly, skeletons and desiccated corpses. Some of them look rather fresh, actually. They're not really desiccated. Some of them look older. And in the middle of the town, there's just a figure kind of slumped on the ground. And the distinct shape of a bagpipes over your shoulder.